Hi everyone. As mentioned in my previous videos, after I decided to start an online business, I went about the monumental task of choosing a niche. After choosing a niche, I created a brand name, logo, and bought the domain name. I discussed all about these processes in my previous videos. Now, with a domain name, the next task is to create a website for my business. And in this video, I will share with you what was the process I went through and how to create a website for your business. This is part of the Business 101 series. I created this series to help you learn how to start and grow an online business. So, if you would like to be updated whenever I upload a new video, remember to subscribe. Today, almost all businesses have a website. It is essential for the success of a business. A website is where people can go to 24 hours a day and 7 days a week to see your business and learn about what you sell and even buy your products online. One way to go about this task is to hire people to build and grow your website for you. But that costs money. So, if you are like me when I first started years ago as a small starting business, you will be cost conscious. As such, I look for ways to create a website with as minimal cost as possible, preferably even for free. In my previous video titled 3 Steps to Create a Brand for Your Business, I mentioned about getting a domain name. As mentioned in that video, the domain name is just an online address where people can find your website. But in order for that to happen, you need to do this first step, which is to get a web hosting service and use the domain name that you bought to assign the website address to that hosting location. This is so that you can build a website there, and when people type in the domain name, they can reach your website. There are many choices of web hosting services such as SiteGround, GoDaddy, Bluehost, and many more, but that can cost hundreds of dollars. For example, at SiteGround, the basic hosting package can cost a few $100s, and the higher packages can cost nearly $500. It may not seem much, but it is still cost, and I can really relate. Back when I first started doing online business, every cent counts. After all, at the start, there are no earnings from the business yet. So it is only logical to minimize costs as much as possible. After you acquire the web hosting service, you will need to update the domain name servers. When you purchase a domain name, it usually points at a default domain name server address. The domain name server address points at where your website is located at. And as such, when you acquire a web hosting service, you need to update your name servers to point at where your website is located, which is supposed to be at the web hosting service. The web hosting service will give you the name server's address, and then you go to where you purchase your domain name, usually a registrar, and update the name servers you have been given. Decades ago, I was one of the people who dived into the internet marketing industry when it first started in Singapore. Back then, there was no WordPress. Websites were designed either by hard code programming or using what was called WYSIWYG interface, which is what you see is what you get. Both were a lot of fun, but not easy to do. You will need to be able to understand programming languages and do some programming with those tools. Today, thankfully, there are many CMS content management systems like Wix, Weebly, and WordPress. I will discuss how to create your website using a CMS like WordPress. It is what I recommend to all my clients and what I will recommend for you too. CMS are systems that are designed to make it easy for users to create and update their websites with as little programming knowledge as possible. WordPress is a CMS that is based on open source framework developed by tens of thousands of developers. Today, according to WordCamp, there are currently over 75 million sites that use WordPress. This alone tells you how popular this CMS is, and I can understand why. It is so easy to use. The interface is very user-friendly. There is a dashboard to access your pages, posts, menus, themes and plugins, etc. and manage them. Before we choose a theme, let me explain what it is first. A theme is the design of your website. The design includes how the content such as images, videos and text will appear on your website and how they are arranged on each page. Also, how each page is displayed for your visitors. For example, you can have a design where there's a right sidebar or without. Also, the design will decide how your menu will be presented. In other words, a theme is not just a design for your website. It can set the tone, look, and feel of your website. Again, be mindful of your branding when you choose a theme. Do note that you can always change the theme at a later time. This can happen as your website grows and evolves. But do not try to change the theme too often, because this can be quite annoying to your faithful followers and readers. For site architecture, some people prefer to do it before they start building the foundation of their website. Some, like me, prefer to do it after. The sequence doesn't really matter. What is important is that you attend to this task before you start adding content to your website. This is because having a site architecture is like planning how your website will be structured. And that is important to do as it will keep your website organized. This is also important for SEO as it will help search engines understand more about your website and how the information on your pages are organized within. Here is an example of a simple site architecture using the Daily Meditation website. As you can see, at the top is the home page. Below are the categories, which are the topics for the content that I plan to create for the website. In addition, there are the standard pages such as About Us, Contact Us, Privacy Policy and Disclaimer pages. Over time, as your website grows, the architecture will change. So do remember to update it. Also, do relook at your site architecture every 6 months to see if there are any improvements to be made. Content is king. I am sure you heard this before. What this means is that content rules the internet. Without it, there's nothing on the internet except for blank pages. For your business, content is important because it is what your visitors will consume. It is from the content that the visitors learn about your business, who you are, what you're offering, and what products you're selling. Content includes your branding, your marketing communications, and even your call to actions in your advertisements. You can create the content or you can hire a copywriter to do it. What is important is that you take a look at your site architecture and figure out what will be the content for each category and each page. For a start, you should add the standard pages first. As mentioned before, these are the About Us, Contact Us, Privacy Policy and Disclaimer pages. Now that the basic structure of your website is done, The next thing to do is to keep adding content. And not just any content. You have to add quality content. Search engines love quality content and will rank them high on search results. With high ranking on search results, or even better, ranking on the first page, you will get more eyeballs on your web pages. And most people will click on the link that is on the first page of search results. As such, you get higher traffic. With more visitors, you have the opportunity to convert them into customers. As a result, you can get more sales and revenue. These are the 7 steps that can help you get started at building your website and also to grow it. Where are you at this website creation process? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments below too. I look forward to hearing from you, and also I look forward to your success.